How many people in the last 90 days went out to purchase a home? If you're one of those people that went out to purchase a home, did you go to your local credit union or institution and have them pull your credit report? Or did you go out, find the best house you wanted, only to realize your credit was less than what you wanted it to be? Knowing how to pull your own credit, what that score means, and how it can affect you are important tools purchasing a new home. So the first thing I want to talk about is first, how do you go ahead and pull your credit report? Due to an act from 2004 called the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you are now able to pull your credit report one time a year completely for free. If you decide to do it more than that, you will pay about $40 to get that credit report. You've got 3 separate bureaus that you can pull it from. You have Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. So you have those 3 different options. So that's going to give you your FICO score, which is just basically your average of the 3 scores, and that's what your institution's going to look like when they are looking at your application so you can purchase your home. So you've got a couple different options on pulling that report. You can go to www.annualcreditreport.com to pull it. You also can go straight to the website of www.equifax.com. They also have a toll-free number on Equifax. All 3 of them do. So you can do that. Either one definitely works. Another option to just keep an eye on, maybe you purchased, a vehicle in the last few months, you know where your credit score is, you're not that worried about it, but you just want to keep an eye on things. You can always use a credit monitoring system. So that's going to be like Credit Karma. Your credit card, if you have any, generally they will kind of let you know what your score is as well, and then kind of flag you if something's wrong, which is nice. The reason, though, you want your full report, why that's important, is my next point here. You want to make sure nothing is flawed, which that means you want to make sure you don't have credit cards on there that you're completely unaware of, or maybe tax liens against you that you don't know are supposed to be there. Spellings and things like that are correct. Your banking institution, regardless if it's a credit holder or just a lender you find online, they're going to look at that full report and they're going to decide what your interest rate is based off of your score, but they're also going to decide if they're going to decline you or they're going to accept your application. So making sure nothing is wrong on that is extremely important. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what is a good score? Based on a reading from 2015 out of an article, a good score is anywhere from 780 to 850. So scores can be from 390 all the way up to 850, 850 being the best. Having that higher score is going to give you more options. You're going to be able to get better terms, better rates, a little bit more flexibility. So that's why it's important to have that higher score. If you're asking yourself now, what goes into that score? What decides the score that I'm getting? So a few of those things are going to be your credit length, how long you've had, like your credit cards, loans, things like that. Your payment timeliness is extremely important. Your hard hits, which are from credit cards, if you apply for them, loans, and other things. Those are hard hits. In insurance and things like that, those are soft pulls. Those aren't going to affect your credit at all. Your balances versus your limits, and then if you have any collection accounts. Those are all going to be factors that can either make your score better. If you have a lot of derogatory, negative things on your credit score, it's going to go down. So that's some. If you're one of those people out there that you're looking at buying a home soon and you want to increase that score before you go to your lender, because maybe you're a little bit aware of it, there are a few steps you can take that will help you out. One of them, again, is that payment timeliness. If you have stuff out there that's older than 30 days, it's going to report back on your credit report, which is going to bring your score down, which you don't want, especially if you're applying for a new home. Do not go out tomorrow, the day before you apply for your mortgage, and get 5 credit cards. That's also going to bring your score down. So it's definitely not a very good option. Don't cancel your cards. So a really great example for this is if you have a $50,000 limit between your 5 cards and you have 25% of it used, you're at 50%, which is still high. But if you go ahead and cancel one of those cards, it's going to put your limit down to $40,000 and you still owe $25,000. So it's going to throw everything out of whack. It's going to have an even higher percentage, and it's going to bring your score down. The last thing that's important to do, kind of goes with the one I just talked about, is having limits under 10%. If you are able to do it, keep all your limits under 10%. They're not going to show up as negative if they're under 10, but over 10, they could show up as negative, bringing your score further down, which is not good. The best option, of course, always is paying off your credit cards in full if you're able to do so. So, why is that score, important? As I talked about a little bit, your lending institution is going to look at that prior to giving you that loan. So it's very important to know what your score is and how you can increase it. But a really good example that I have today is if, you have a good score over that 700 mark, you may get a 6% interest rate. Well, if you're at 699, you might get a 7% interest rate. Over the course of 30 years, you're going to save a heck of a lot of money if you stay at the 6% versus the 7. So it's just important to be aware of where you're at with that score, and how you can use it to your advantage. So today we talked about how to go ahead and pull that credit report, what your score actually means, and why it's important when you're buying a mortgage. Especially in times like today where interest rates are way down, you want to be aware of it because you can take advantage of it where you couldn't in the past. Thank you.